Afternoon, the end of February, and today I'm finally coming back to the studio after quite a few days. I thought I would work on something in this quiet session today that's something like this. I just used tape and layered tape and pulled it off, layered more on after I let it dry, and I thought I'd do something similar today, but this time I want to use frisket paper so that I don't just have straight rectangular lines. So I'm going to set this aside. I'm going to use this nice Arches paper. Looks like I had some paint bleed through there, but anyway, I'm going to lay these shapes on and see what I come up with today. And I'm going to turn another light on a second here. Well, I guess I'm not going to turn the light on. The battery is out. Okay. First, I'm just going to lay some of these shapes on here and just kind of randomly experiment with this idea. Hello. I'm just playing today with some frisket and watercolor to see what kind of effects I can get. I don't really have anything specific in mind. I started another one before I started the live stream too, so that one of them should be dry. I don't want people to have to sit around and watch paint dry. So I'm going to let this dry for a second, and I started this one earlier. It's not quite dry yet either. But if you're just joining me, this is what inspired me today. This was tape and, layers of tape and layers of wash. But I wanted to do something that was more than just lines. And so that's what this is, this frisket paper. So let me pull these off. I've not worked with this before. It's a little harder to take off than I thought it would be. I think it's reusable too. And so what I thought I would do is just take these shapes and maybe lay them back over here. I think I should have pressed it down a little bit more. I wanted a crisper edge, but this is all just a grand experiment here. Just kind of randomly mixing up some colors. looking for a black over here. It's maybe a little darker than I wanted. I don't know. Going to be interesting if I can get it to dry. Set that one aside and see how this one's doing. This might not be the best technique to fool around with on a live stream because things aren't dry yet. One thing I think I'm discovering is I need to press the edges down a little bit more on the frisket paper. With this being arches too, it takes it a while to dry, to really dry. Oops. This is, I'm responding to one of your comments here. It's hard for me to paint and see the comments. This is frisket, so it's used to block out the colors underneath. Instead of with watercolor, a lot of people use liquid frisket. This is just paper that you can, frisket paper you can cut into shapes and block out some of the watercolor. So I'm just experimenting with it. I did this, I think maybe some of you might have seen this already, with tape. I liked it, so I thought I'd try it with other shapes. And watercolor. See what kind of effects I can get. I don't really have anything in mind to end up with here as an outcome. Just I like to experiment and have fun on a Saturday afternoon and share it with you all. I should have if I had like a fan or something here, I could probably dry these a little faster. This one's pretty wet still. And I think I need to press these down a little bit more so that I don't get that kind of blobbiness. But then again, it's all just an experiment, and I'm just here having fun making something today. So we'll see how this one looks in a minute. This one is still wet, but I'm just going to go forward with it. I think the last thing that you probably want to see, and the hardest thing for me, is waiting for it to dry. Always curious to see how things are going to look. This is reusable too. It's not that sticky, but it's sticky enough that it can be reused. Let's see. I need to press it down a little bit more. I might try a new sheet. Well, I'm not sure I love the colors or anything, but that's kind of interesting. Let that dry a little bit more too. And this one, actually, I have another big pad of paper over here. Let's just start another one. And this time I'm going to try pressing this down a little bit. I probably have a burnisher around here somewhere. If you could see my studio, you would see that it's a mess. It's really just a desk in a pole barn. And I'm definitely the kind of artist that makes messes. I'm going to press it down a little bit more this time. I just randomly cut some pieces out before I started. Yeah, tape, you're right. Tape is easier because it's pretty sticky and you can really press those sides down. But I just was feeling restricted by the shape. And I wanted to do different shapes. I'll stick down one more piece and then try this again. See if this doesn't bleed underneath it as much. If anyone is still here, what color should I use? I'm just randomly grabbing colors here. I really love this gold. I think it got contaminated with some green. Probably use my bigger brush. I can find what I did with it. Oh, it's over here. Well, a sunset vibe. Is this a sunset vibe? Maybe a little bit. Here in Michigan this morning, the sunrise was very beautiful. It's very pink and orange. Okay, so I have to let these dry every time. Let's see what's happening with this one. Still not the driest. It's one thing about watercolor, isn't it? You have to be so patient. And I think on these I wasn't patient enough. Yeah, these are not, these initial ones I did are not pressed down enough, and the water's definitely seeping underneath. So I kind of lost what I was doing there. It would be kind of interesting to let this dry completely, maybe use some fine liner, come back in with some other colors, but this is just not dry enough to do that right now. and neither is this one. So, let's see. Like I said earlier, this is just an experiment for me, so I'm not really sure. I think this looks like it bled underneath too, didn't it? I think I might have to experiment with this a little bit more to see what I need to do so that it doesn't bleed under those edges. And maybe it's just not the right thing in terms of like what I imagined would happen. Because yeah, look at how it really bled underneath still. I have another kind of paper. It's stone paper. I might try it on that sometime. But yeah, this didn't turn out the way I expected it to. But I might try to work on these a little bit more and see what else I can come up with. Interesting idea. The outcome wasn't what I thought it would be. But for me, it's just about coming up here, making a little art, relaxing. There's just so much stress in our daily lives. And for me, this is just a way to kind of come up here to my little desk and play with a few things. In this case, I think not what I expected, but I think I might play with these after they dry, and I might post a note in the community notes on my channel and show you how they turned out after I puttered around with them a little bit more. Or I'll probably be back on Wednesday this week and next Saturday, and maybe I'll work on them then, see what I can come up with then. So I think I'm going to wrap that up for today. And if you join me, thank you so much. And if you're watching the replay, thanks for being here too. And I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you next time.